reasons I can bring that out there. But the short of it is that I think CPH Flames offer a lot, and I hope that we get to see some of that here. They're starting off on the T side, and they'll be on the pistol here with just a Molotov on c0ntact. We'll see what he can do with that. They'll take the ramp room, and there's a setup here coming in from Otto and Roland and Emmy, all chiming in, all making the kills happen. And that's going to leave just one player, c0ntact, and he wasn't supposed to be in this position. It's a pistol, and he's got a Glock. Maybe there's a world where he can recover the bomb. That's the first step.
Avoids the flashbang. 1 versus 3. Time to block the essence. He's got a swing on him, but he takes out the first player well before the second one. That trade didn't quite work out for them, but Esperanto will finish off the job, and the pistol goes the way of c0ntact.
Absolutely, and that was great. I think that just goes to show, some of the preparedness. They played that heavy ramp setup, and the thing about playing that heavy ramp setup is that if the T's decided to go, down lower through secret, outside, and so on, you have that really fast rotation time, so that's a good option. If they decide to go for the upper hit really quickly, that's kind of maybe where you're maybe a little bit weak. So it could be the case that we've had, a bit of research, happening here that allowed c0ntact to think, okay, that's what we think is the least likely option. So it's really cool setup. Moving into the buy round now on the CT side. We've all been here, James. It's very comfortable against the blocks. And indeed, everyone will get wiped out. It is a non-issue for c0ntact. All 5 survive, with only Otto taking a little bit of damage.
Early start here on Nuke. c0ntact starting on the right foot. Again, a slight favourite. A very slight favourite, but we'll see how it plays out. Plenty of Counter-Strike to be had. Yeah, so it's c0ntact with an X. I think the overlay had him with a Z there, so that will need to be corrected. Right, 2-0 for c0ntact, and now things begin. We've got some early Molotovs into the A-bomb site. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean the T's are committing behind it. It can just try to cause c0ntact to use more of their utility early. We've got HEs towards the silo from the outside from c0ntact. There are some funky grenades you can throw from the inside of A to the same effect. There we go, early harassment, 50 led with 10 XP. So it seems with the worst weapons, c0ntact have come out on top at the start of round 3.
Yeah, and CPH Flames, they've got a lot of different ways to play their defaults, lots of different timings, lots of different ways they shift the bodies around. You can see that here is a very light presence outside, refreshes out there. They haven't even thrown the outside smokes or anything. They're actually fairly conservative. All 4 smokes still available for CPH Flames as they go through ramp. They walk it out there, and beautifully done. Farlik holding the angle. Otto goes for the information jiggle, but he is, well, he's going to get information, I suppose, in one way, but now that he's down and ramp control is had by CPH Flames, there are problems. Tessus is making his way up the ladder as well, up to heaven, and refreshes there. He's looking for that mini split through to the upper bomb site with the rest of his teammates. They got so much positioning. Tessus up high, and everybody else coming through lobby now. Beautiful coordination from CPH Flames. They're really playing this one out very well.
Bomb's been planted. Tessus will try to hold position with the smoke around heaven. That really makes things harder for a retake attempt. A man disadvantage as well for c0ntact. We'll see how far they want to go for this one. Players like Ships could perhaps take a further gamble with the MP9, try and get a cheeky upgrade as the T's exit. But I'm not convinced that c0ntact are actually going to go for this. They are close to heaven with defuse kits, but I think they're just holding to try and make things a little more expensive for the Flames as they try to exit the site. But Tessus is patient, and he knows what might be possible there. Time for him to run, though. Roland, is he going for a ninja? Surely not. No. Okay, he's just trying to get anything else he can out of it, which isn't much. He'll have to fall back. CPH Flames will be on the board early with their first round in the 3rd round.
I think one thing that's really worth noting here, and again, this is something that I saw from us casting them, and then I quickly looked at some of their demos yesterday as well, is that with CPH Flames, look, they got ramp control. A lot of teams will keep it simple from that point forward. But what they did though, which shows a lot of confidence and coordination, is they got Tessus up heaven, then rotated back through lobby. Now, if at that point the CTs were to push lobby, CPH Flames would have caught them, and if they don't, they have that split. They had the player outside as well, so they have a multi-layered way to approach the rounds with a lot of moving pieces, which can be hard to organize. But they managed to do it. Now moving into the next one, we've got double orbs here from c0ntact. That is a huge investment. Otto there in the garage looking outside, not seeing too much. I would expect to see outside smokes here from CPH Flames. That is going to be there for most teams as defaults on the T side, and CPH Flames are no different, even though they didn't open with that on their first buy round. But you can see them lining up the smokes here. Around the 120 mark, those smokes will go out. And Rollins the man on secrets to get the info.
Man like Rollin. Emmy holding on to that smoke for as long as he can. He's been on a team for a while now as well. Otto doing what he does as one of the best. I'm really enjoying his rise as a sniper in Counter-Strike. It's been really enjoyable to watch, and he has been devastating. Emmy there, soon to go. He's in the smoke though, so he may have a slight advantage. Can he get the second one? No, he can't. Sees the bomb though. Also has an angle, was last seen outside, now he's on the inside. Hooksy taken out in the vent, but I don't think he saw the player move down, but Roland is in the vent as well. So CPH Flames getting extinguished in round 4. Farlig now in a 1 versus 3. 30 seconds, not a lot of time, but maybe there's something to be done here. I think he's got to jump on Otto, misses his shot. 20 seconds to go, but the bomb I believe is down in the vent. Roland dropping a Molotov on it as well, which will really waste some time. And now Farlig will fall to the USP on the A bomb site. See some shouts from c0ntact. There is a blind which has been dropped between both sides, so they can't see the flashbangs and so on, but they can certainly hear the shouting.
And that was a really interesting round actually, because it felt like we had a situation whereby CPH Flames were in a pretty good spot, but as you said, James, smart stuff from Emmy. He kind of had a very late timing in the last 5 seconds of the smoke around Squeaky. That's when he moved into it, and you do get that very slight timing for a one-way if you're inside the smoke. So he used that to his advantage, knowing exactly where the T's would be coming from, and that really spiraled things down from there, out of control for CPH Flames. And we'll get that same open though from them in the following round here, as we see the Molotov going through the door, trying to get that CT utility expended by c0ntact in response to the harassment of CPH Flames, and working on that ramp control. Now we see those double ops really coming into play. It's not just Otto who's been looking outside with his orb from time to time. You've also got one in the ramp room as well on the ships, and he's going to be locking that down. So CPH Flames now having to go with a different plan. Things have not gone as they would have liked. They don't have ramp control. They've lost a player. They've only got 3 smokes remaining. They're going to go for the outside smokes, and this needs to kind of work out for them, because there's no plan B after this.
I'll go to smokes now. Roland's got an incendiary, which he looked like he was considering using. Maybe he delays it, maybe he saves it for later, for a more crucial time. CPH Flames walking past the smoke, so there's no sound cues here for Roland. It's a guessing game. Is there 1 person in secret, or is there a lot more than that? We can see that it's 3 on the way to the B bomb site. Pop flashes will telegraph their intentions, but again, how many is a big question. Is the bomb here? Another one. Ships with an angle, with the AWP, tags but no frag. He will hold position. Riders on the flanks at the same time, but he can only entertain for so long. Now everything speeds up because the game is up. The jig is up. Tess taken out. 2 versus 3 as they try to plant the bomb, but here come the CTs from all directions. Otto is the last 2. Shrieks, wails, like witches burning in a bonfire, and it's 4-1 for c0ntact.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. That's a really good way to start things off against CPH Flames, who, again, we know how strong their Nuke T-side can be. They've got some great theory to it, but it's one thing having that. But if you're against an opposition that maybe has done the research and has the experience on top of that to play a high-level nuke, you're going to run into some issues perhaps in performing or executing as you'd like. So already we can see c0ntact finding ways to create problems. In that round, for example, they put CPH Flames in this position where you lose a player, so you can't run that initial out of freeze time round plan. You have to make something up on the fly at that point. What do we have? What is the situation? What are our opponents working with? And in this case, they weren't able to find a solution. So great start for c0ntact, 4-1 now for them. And it's eco time for CPH Flames. The Danes having some problems.
T250s are out. Nodius with a grenade and a smoke grenade as well, which I assume is for the squeaky door. There goes the HE, smoke towards Mini, or at least a Molotov. He'll take one in the face though. He doesn't go down the vent, but he will cause a rotation. You can see Ships makes his way into the B bomb site, but as he goes back up, he's going for a bad time if he doesn't hear those footsteps, but he definitely does. Starts to fall back. He's got Otto to help him out in the numbers. Those are 2 nice kills. The CZ will certainly help as well. All the sound cues in the world. They dance back and forth. The crouch peek, the headshot, no damage done. All 5 alive for c0ntact. That is the kind of anti-eco you want if you're the CT side.
Yeah, right now it's looking like CPH Flames are getting just backhanded, James. Just backhanded. Ooh. They are not having a fun time. There doesn't really seem to be any relief for the dominance that c0ntact have begun to show here, because they're looking like really smooth, really comfortable, and that's a dangerous place for CPH Flames to be in. We'll see if they can find a solution here. Looks like they may try to switch up the pace. We see mostly slow rounds from them. And they're going to go fast towards ramp. Oh, Ship does miss the first shot. That's the chance they needed. Hooksy will get himself down to the lower bomb site quite rapidly, but Rowland is there waiting. Nice first bullet there, straight into the head of Hooksy. And now it is going to be just a survival mission, standing in the corner, using that smoke to buy time for his teammates to get into position, to help him out. Tessus will be able to find him. Very well done indeed. And that's going to create a 2v3 here, and it's, well, quickly a 1v3. Otto is well out of position for this one. And maybe it's just about the save now as Nodius hunts him out.
1 minute 10. Oh, he's running for dear life, and he will not be able to make it to CT spawn. That's a huge round for CPH Flames. The second round on the board, of course, it was as expensive as you could possibly ask for. You can see some of the replays here, the harassment towards the ramp, Roland there. Very sneaky position on the B bomb site, but how long did it last? Looks like Tessus may have been here to clean things up. Some spray in the smoke, got there in the end. 2-5. What does this mean for the buy of c0ntact Gaming? Well, they've got 2 AWPs out once again. They've got 2 silenced on Esperanto and Ryan, and the M4A4 on Emmy, as we see Squeaky Door get blown off. Looking for something as Farlig, forced back by the Flames though. Fire can be a problem. That smoke will cause a problem for the choke point for a while. But they're really reasonably light on grenades here, c0ntact, so I do wonder what their intentions will be. I guess they've got angles to hold with the AWPs, and that might make up for it.
Yeah, and we can see the smoke's coming out now again, and one of the reasons for this as well is that we saw that CT cross smoke, which allows the CTs to go to T-red unbeknownst to the T side. That dissipated, and by the time that these T smokes came out, you can see another one of those coming through. And now CPH Flames will make their way down, and they haven't done this with so many players previously. They've mostly just had, I believe, like, you know, some like Refresh and kind of lurking out there to try to harass around these smokes. But it's a committed effort, and we'll have to see if that's going to be a change that's going to work out for CPH Flames. We're running into Esperanto, I do believe. Indeed, he's looking for those headshots. We know how deadly he is. Using the stairs here, he will give access towards control room, but how many makes it across? That's the question. Or perhaps looking to organize a run boost there, and they're not. Are they abandoning that idea? Okay. Oh, that is so sick. That's beautiful. Farlig with a fantastic peek of the head of a teammate. That is novel. Ships will be able to take down one, but they're in position now.
20 seconds on the clock. Can they thwart a bomb plant here? Nodius may have spotted one going down the vent, but the bomb has indeed been planted. You can headshot that position actually with the Deagle from the A bomb site. Emmy now moving forward to Decon, but Farlig's here to take him out. Rylan and Otto remain. Rylan looking to the right, takes the frag from the left though, but I think this round is over for c0ntact as Rylan indicates with his retreat. Maybe Otto will make it to CT spawn this time. Things are not looking great for c0ntact anymore. A good start, often how you finish, but we are in the middle of Nuke at the moment, and we will be for a while. CPH Flames making sure everything is clean and sanitized on the B bomb site, and they'll fall back for their third round.
It's such a cool change in the meta, you know, where we see like a peak like that. Because a lot of CT teams, you know, obviously you can clear the first angle. Like, is there a CT playing headshot around the steps to control room? Okay, there isn't. The next place they're going to be, if they're not on the vent, is this spot. But that's such a sick shot to actually connect. But it's so cool to see an actual boost come out as a response to a position like that. That does typically cause issues for teams trying to make their way through to that lower bomb site. So good response coming in from CPH Flames, and with that tiny little gimmick there, that little adjustment, James, it's made all the difference here, because now c0ntact are on an eco.
They broke. I like a round like this though when there's an AWP involved, because I would love to see Otto try to go hero mode. Maybe it depends on the map. You might ask yourself how, like, oh my god, Esperanto standing on Nodius' head. No, he's run out of bullets. Put out a flashbang. That can't have been on purpose. Now things have got really weird very quickly indeed. That's a third rifle collected, and CPH Flames don't really have position. And there he is, back in sniper mode, and it's a bait setup as well. He pulls out the knife, not expecting Chip to be here. It's a complete disaster for Flames.
Still a chance to bring things back though in this round for, well, I suppose both teams, because even though c0ntact have a man up, they're still not great on the firepower department, and two players like Kevlar and Helmet as well. But the bomb is in the hands of the Danes, so they can maneuver that around the map pretty much anywhere they want at this point. There's so much space available to them. But look at this. Farley's holding the flank here. And there's the first peek. It's a double peek, but he has the bomb as well, James. And he wanted to go back through lobby because Refresh is on the upper bomb site at this point, but that did seem like a risky plan, and it's not worked out for them. Refresh now has to clean up. He doesn't expect the off angle from Rylan. What a position. c0ntact survived with 3.
Yeah, hasn't learned Crystal's silent jump from Heaven, it seems. There were so many things happening at the same time. Again, a round like that, I think in most cases the sniper's not expecting to be able to save, so they're going to try and do something. This was a complete disaster. Nodius pulls out a flashbang. Esperanto doesn't know for the longest time that he's even standing on somebody's head. The bait setup here was beautiful though. You can see Testes pulls out the knife. He doesn't expect anybody else to be there. Probably, I mean, in many cases, you might have like an AWP in one place and stacking teammates somewhere else with the pistols and so on. But the bait works perfectly. That's how you bait your teammates in the right way.
I think that kind of goes to show, you know, some of the experience of the c0ntact players. Just having, maybe you're a team that strategically, you know, you don't have like the most super in-depth coordinated drills and strats or something like that, but knowing, you know, how in a mid-round to create opportunities with a you know, creative use of off. We're going to create this off angle. We're going to create this bait setup. We're going to find a cool timing. And then having some individual skill to also leverage into that situation is, it really, you know, can make a team.
I forget who it was recently. It was a player who said that the communication thing with people from different countries is overrated, and I think that's a great example of that bait setup. Otto straight back to work on the ramp position. 2 frags for him, holding and slowing down the advance of CPH Flames. He can reposition. B bomb site still in control. 3 versus 5 now as Ships gets a 1v1. CPH Flames being dismantled like Lego in round number 10. Refresh and Farlig remain, and they don't have much to show for their losses. Yes, they've got control of ramp, but they've just got some jiggle pick. Again, another bait set up with another player close. Ship swings and takes out the last remaining players. It's great work from c0ntact.
It absolutely is. And James, did you do something very smart there? Did you say CPH Flames are being dismantled by like Lego because they're Danish?
No, I'm not that smart.
Because I was like, oh, that's so next level. No. But I have to ruin it for everyone and just double check.
Not gonna lie, Dan.
I didn't trust it.
I have no idea where Lego is from.
But you know what? Maybe it's a subconscious thing, man. Maybe you knew. You read it in a magazine. Subconscious mind doing that work for you.
Yeah, I mean, that round was so fast. Didn't really have time to talk about the previous one. But the 2-man setups from c0ntact around the map have been good on the CT side so far. And again, going back to that comment about some players saying that the language barrier thing is overrated. We're certainly seeing that so far from c0ntact. Now we've got anti-eco territory, the pop flash into the A bomb site, but once again, they're doing very well on these anti-eco rounds. I mean, it is Nuke, so it's really hard on the T side, but you still need to have your success. And we've seen 2 anti-eco rounds now from c0ntact where they haven't lost a single player, which is fantastic for your CT economy, especially as they're still rebuilding after the earlier massacres at the hands of Flames.
Oh, yeah. No, it's been very interesting to see that level of disruption from c0ntact on their CT side. I think that's really the name of the game as well, especially against a team that is as coordinated as CPH Flames can be. If you kind of mess with some of those variables, it can really create a lot of problems, it seems. And speaking of mixing things up, being disruptive, a double HE onto the silo, you don't see that every day. I like that a lot. It won't amount to too much in this instance, but it does create a lot of presence on the outside positions. Now CPH Flames have to be very cautious that there could be CTs pushed in these positions, as they just saw a double HE go up to the silo. And that goes both ways, though. c0ntact, they see those outside smokes, investigating. Rollin won't see a single thing just yet as CPH Flames make their way down lower. Tagging, though, and that's actually going to do some damage. And c0ntact, they've got to get those rotations in, and now they have players ready to guard lower as well.
Suxi waiting for a potential flank from the CT side of c0ntact. Again, being very meticulous, CPH Flames. There's pros and cons to approaches like this. There's less risk in one way, but at the same time, you're telegraphing a few things. You're telling them you're coming, so to speak, which allows more rotation. Look how deep Ships is, but he misses his shot. How good is it being deep if you can't hit the target? The trades go in favor of CPH Flames. Nodius in a common anti-eco spot. He's got so much information, and that's a beautiful spray from Nodius. That leaves Otto alone now. 33 seconds. It's a long time to try and stop a bomb from being planted. They know where he is, and they're rotating away, leaving Testes to keep him entertained. The bomb's being planted now on the A bomb site. There goes Otto. We saw some rough sprays earlier on in the game around the radio room, but those were some really nice transfers.
Yeah, that was pretty crisp from Nodius. I'm sure he was very pleased with that one. And yeah, CPH Flames is definitely a team that has a lot of firepower. I think it's one of the things I was going to mention earlier, not to go into any monologues or anything like that. This is the subject of said monologue. It was a case that some teams that start out really tactical and strategic, once they actually kind of get comfortable with that base, they actually become individually, like, you know, they start to understand how to be loose in those roles as well. And that's when they really unlock their true power, such as the Brazilians with Luminosity, Kaboom TD to Luminosity back in the old days. We will see those Brazilians, some of them later on in this tournament. But for now, it's up to the Danes, and well, we're in the hands of Finn here. Also on the AWP, expectant. He will deliver one frag at the very least. Gets the information too. There goes the spray now from Ralin and Esperanto. He's found a gap in the smoke. He's found an opportunity.
Oh my god.
And he's going to pick one off and get away with murder.
The fadeaway dink on the player coming up secret as well. Tesses leaving him with 9 HP, the bomb carrier, and that means the bomb's on the radar. They know exactly where the bomb is, so CPH Flames may feel somewhat stuck in the mud. Tesses with some shots towards Mini, hoping for the best, but maybe distracting while Farlig presses on. Maybe suggesting he's Farlig, because Farlig has an AWP elsewhere, and Tesses has gone back to an AK-47. Now, these are where your mid-round calls have got to be as strong as hell, because how on earth do they turn this situation around, CPH Flames? There's no secrets in secret. They know exactly where the bomb is. Ships now, takes out the first player again. Tesses with 9 HP from the dink earlier on, and this one has collapsed, leaving Nodius alone in a 1 versus 4.
I don't really have the money to take these losses. Nodius, can he find a way to do some damage? Oh, just walking into the spray, but Esperanto will deliver the trade. And that's 9-4 now for c0ntact. They are looking pretty solid. They've stabilized so effectively. We get some glimpses here and there from CPH Flames, able to win a round. Obviously the third round, and then, you know, just a couple in the middle. But generally speaking, they can't quite seem to string them together too much. And c0ntact are looking pretty fantastic. If they win this one, CPH Flames don't really have good money for the final round. So we're looking at a potential 11-4 scoreline for c0ntact if they keep up this performance.
I think 6 on a T side would be huge, though, for CPH Flames if they can make it. And it's still possible. Hooksy with a deagle, 4 AKs on deck. I missed the old Nuke peak, man. I feel like you can't double scope now. Indeed, he did. You gotta be a single scope beast to look either side of the box. I loved punishing a jump peek before. That would be so satisfying, but a little more difficult now. Minute 20 on the clock as there are grenades towards Secret. Otto's creeping once again. Ever a huge threat for c0ntact.
And they know c0ntact, they know that they're about to get, well, some contact, for lack of a better word, down Secret. Rollins waiting for it. Some of my best. And the flashbang will force him back ever so slightly, but it's a 2-man setup. Once again, we're seeing a lot of these from c0ntact. It's been worked out really, really well. Baiting as he goes through the vent for Esperanto, and indeed, it's going to work out so damn well. c0ntact have stopped that push. Now they're looking to stop the ramp push as well. You can see Ships trying to lock it down. He's not going to be successful, but Otto, he might be. He's got just a tiny gap to work with there, but surely they're aware of it. Look at Emmy coming in from lobby as well. Every single point CPH Flames have to defend as they push.
30 seconds left. All the players are tagged for CPH Flames. Half and half for c0ntact, half high, half low, although one has just made his way upstairs actually. So now Esperanto is the only player in a lower area. CPH Flames trying to figure out the best play. Emmy's been taken out in the lobby. Is that the go mark? Otto now goes up the ladder. Is it time to take him out? Up the ladder we go. You can just hear the steps because time is of the essence, and we might actually get a bomb plant here. 2-1-2, great flick from Nodius. Goes back to the AK, and it's down to Esperanto to clutch.
We're really seeing some expert moments here from some of the individuals on the Danish side. Esperanto will try to dismantle this attempt at saving this round as he makes his way into the 1v2 here. Scanning, trying to find out exactly what the post-plant situation looks like here. And oh, Farlig unable to work it from the smoke. And now Esperanto's in that 1v1, tapping the bomb here. He doesn't have a smoke or anything of that. Oh my god, is he just going to go for it? That is so bold. Oh, he might make it. Oh, he just barely did not make it in time. It was close. You've got to respect the balls on Esperanto to just go for the full hold. Doesn't work out for him in this instance. And maybe we will see that 6-9 after all.
sure the chat wants a 6-9. That was a huge round. Not much he could have done towards the end there based on the positions, but hold the bomb. A valiant effort, but one that would end in disaster. Tactical timeout from CPH Flames as they just take a deep breath and try to get that 6th round. And there's Neilem, the legendary Neilem. Anyone who's from the UK knows about Neilem. The private Facebook groups. I was teasing him about those earlier. It's very much an inside joke, but he is a legend of the of the Facebook videos. The UK banter. He was definitely the king back in those days. That was fantastic to watch. Now he's in a more serious role, as he has been for quite a while, actually. Good to have a camera on. He's very much the emotions of the teams he's behind as a 6th man. But we are into the 15th round now. c0ntact looking for double figures. They've got double ops out once again. Mixed bag for CPH Flames from a MAC-10 to a Galil to an AWP. AK's here as well. This time Radius makes it into the vent. He'll quietly go down the ladder.
Yeah, he just had a free ticket down the vent to lower bomb site. That's pretty nice if you're on the T side to get that quick position. Raman's in a pretty aggressive position himself here as he looks to maybe, will he go up on the T red? This is very scary stuff. He would take the head off of Farlig with the AWP there. Now Raman's going to go back for more, trying to find these players dancing on top of T red. It gets very precarious after a while, as we can see. And he's only good for 1. Look at the pushing here from Esperanto as well. c0ntact very active on the map on the CT side. Unusual, but... Oh, God.
Oh, no. He's nosed it right up.
Oh, that's rough.
2 plays left here for c0ntact. 1 minute on the clock. Surely this is a desperate situation for them. It's doable. 2 AWPs left now. Otto, I believe in the man. They're both 12 for 8, actually, Otto and Ships. Now we can see CPH taking control of the A-bomb site. How on earth do c0ntact get back in for this one? It's the last round, so they've got to go for it. They have smoke grenades. I'm not sure how they'll help them. Again, maybe one towards Squeaky, but oh boy, Mini has just been re-smoked as well. That wastes so much time. Neither player has a kit. They're both coming from the same place. This could hardly be worse. They've got a pop flash and AWP through a smoke against 4 players who are all defending the bomb site.
Yeah. That's the very definition of optimistic, isn't it? Okay, well, just the swing. Ships hits the first shot, but Otto has been the sacrifice, and that will be that. It's going to be 6-9. It is a small resurgence from CPH Flames in the last 4 rounds of the first half. We'll have to see if they can continue that after the break.
Oi, oi. Welcome back. I've got to say, I'm loving this music. I don't want to dance in my chair. And I'm a geek, so I don't dance, but I still want to dance. Anyway, 6-9. CPH Flames managed to get 6 rounds out of their T side on Nuke, and maybe that'll be enough for them. Just maybe. First, they need to win a pistol. First pistol was taken by c0ntact. Can they split the pistols by winning this one? That is the question.
Yeah, and the other question too is, what does the T side look like strategically for c0ntact? Again, T side of this map is pretty complicated. There's a lot of it's a really weird map in terms of defaults. Every team does it a little bit differently. It's not like Inferno where there's just like this, there's a standard, there's a golden standard that you watch Astralis demos to find out about. So we'll see how they maneuver on this T side. To begin with, they just have Esperanto lurking outside by himself as the rest of the team more or less goes towards that ramp aggression, get some early map control. We saw that was where the round was won and lost in the previous pistol, and maybe it's the same here. Nodius will take one to the face. He tries to escape, but how far can he get? He's going to dodge back through the smoke. Very smart stuff from Nodius, but they realize that he had to be somewhere, and they will take him down. And Esperanto will just barely miss one, but announce his presence to another. And Tessus will gladly finish him.
Yeah, his face has been popped like a grape. 4 versus 4 as bomb is planted on the B bomb site. 4 USPs. No defuse kits on road. Everyone else has got Kevlar as they creep towards the B bomb site. So that'll give them an extra spring in their step, an extra sense of urgency. Emmy spots the USP, door open, door closed, and open again. And look at those frags flying in from CPH Flames. They made quick work of that. They take the second pistol round. Definitely how you want to start your CT side. And this very much increases the likelihood of a 9-9.
It does, however, the bomb got planted, and we don't know what c0ntact have up their sleeves. Perhaps you will get a cheeky force buy here, maybe a fast rush into an upper bomb side or something, a set piece, to try to just really put CPH Flames off their game, get the pressure on, get the economic damage, and then yes, Jace, we're going to see exactly, well, I don't know if we're going to see a set piece, but we get the force buy. We have a couple Deagles, a couple Galils, and Don Krieg.
The Krieg. Freddy Krieger is on deck. It's Halloween. See if they can turn it around. Man, you really have to practice the Galil these days. I've always been crap with it.
It's a lot easier.
People say it's a lot more M4-like now in terms of spray and so on. So no more. I always used to go on about how the spray pattern was like the Titan logo, kind of in reverse.
Titan logo. That's not aged well, James.
Yeah. Quietly creeping towards the ramp here, our c0ntact, using the element of surprise, abusing their numbers advantage as they creep. Of course, it's the Krieg to start the proceedings. And Farik just is like, nope. I'm having none of that. We got 2 Augs on deck, though, for CPH Flames. Heightened armor penetration over the M4. Smoke towards double doors. Tessus not going for a spray. Got to be careful. If you're right next to a smoke and you're spraying, you're much more vulnerable to being sprayed back every 3rd bullet, showing a tracer.
This is a problem for CPH Flames because they don't really have a good deal of positioning to retake here. This is an important fight. If Rolling can hold on to the ramp here, this 1v1, that's going to be huge for his teammates. You can see he's forced out towards control and he's going to get taken down because of that. 2 versus 3 now for c0ntact. They're in trouble. Big frag on the trade, but it's up the ships. He's the guy with the Krieg. He's the guy that had to get it done, but it's going to be Tessus for CPH Flames that's really getting it done there. Closing things out with the remaining kills. It's going to be a close one here on the defuse, but they're just about going to make it. Nice. Sorry to kill any tension there for those of you that, that didn't realize that.
2 defuses in 2 rounds. That's bonus money for c0ntact at the very least. 8-9 though, and there's more rifles coming their way. We've got another Krieg. Oh, we've got a P90. Otto with the P90. I wonder if this is spawn-based. Yeah, he's got a forward spawn, so maybe this means he's going to be heading towards Squeaky. That said, there's no HE grenade, so perhaps not. But the P90's out. It's so expensive weapon, like 2350. Still got the reduced kill bonus as well. Refresh. Just they're racing towards Secret, but maybe thinking better of it now. Don't quite have the snipers out just yet, but they still take a second. Last few bullets will take out Refresh. We've got frags all over the place. Farlig now trying to keep an eye on top of Mini. Ships is around Secret, but not quite committing to it just yet. He's seen the backpack, and then he sees the head.
That's a great kill to get. That's a gun in the open if they choose to grab it. 3 rifles for c0ntact to work with. The Krieg, of course, is just such a a playmaker. And there's Tessus. He was the key man in the previous round. His posture, questionable. If we see him on camera, pay attention. Don't do this at home. We'll see c0ntact making their way forwards now down to the lower bomb sites. And they are making things quite quiet. They want to use subterfuge. They want to be as covert as possible. They're playing Metal Gear Solid right now, James.
Minus the cardboard box. 40 seconds remain. Again, c0ntact using the element of surprise and the numbers on the
c0ntact are trying to bleed them out slowly but surely as they set up their mini and upper splits.
time starts to run low. Farlig still upstairs doing what he can. There is one Molotov on Otto if he has position to use it. I think he just did. c0ntact flames start to creep. Farlig taken out now. Ships is having a field day on the T side with the Krieg. Well, that's a nice one. At least a weapon can be collected now. Do they really want to throw good money after bad at this point? I think there's definitely an argument to be made in terms of holding on to what they have. Tessus loses the M4, but maybe the Krieg will be enough on the likes of Nodius for Copenhagen Flames. Refresh. He's got a fair amount of money to lose as well. Bearing in mind he's got 50 bucks in the bank. He's got a Deagle, Kevlar, a defuse kit. It's a lot to potentially throw away. Even if he gets that kill, he might not be able to reach the weapon. He will get taken out, however. So Nodius will be the lone survivor to tell the story, to tell the tale of c0ntact Flames in that round.
And yeah, they may be in some trouble here because it's looking like c0ntact's actually seemingly very comfortable on their T side so far. Like, I like the slow bleed of that round, just trying to kind of win this war of attrition where they effectively have more resources at the beginning of it, so they're inevitably going to win a situation like that. And now we're in the spot where CPH Flame's got to go for a save again. We're likely going to a scoreline of 12-8. Unless something untoward happens. Nodius does have that Krieg, as you pointed out, so there is a world where he can get some value out of it, but you'd really want it to happen at the beginning of the round, just so that his teammates are still alive to maybe play off of that initial advantage, should he be able to find it. But c0ntact are moving. They got their eyes set on this ramp position.
That's not going to feel nice. No, it won't. Hooksy takes one in the bum. 73 HP. Could have been a lot worse. Now, c0ntact may want to try and figure out, as cheaply as possible, where this Krieg is. Tessa's going for a walk amongst the ground, but security have taken him away. Or maybe not, since c0ntact started tease. Anyway, Nodius is there with the Krieg. He's taken out 3. He's made this very winnable. But there's only USPs left for the remaining players. They can protect that weapon. Can they find something on the way? All the weapons, surely, are for the most part inside the A-bomb site. So even though he's got 3 kills here, they've got to do the rest of it with USPs.
Yeah, you're completely right. Ooh, a grab actually from Hub, and that could make all the difference. Refresh takes down Otto, and now it's up to Esperanto. He's got an AK-47. This could be so difficult.
Oh
Whoa,
my god!
What?
What is that?
I don't. That's a peak apparently. That's a swing and a half.
If this was the internet, I'd say he's cheating. That's nasty.
Dude,
even he's laughing.
He just outswung the AK with a USP at range.
That was a nutty peak.
That was mad.
That was absolutely ridiculous. And a great way to turn things around when you're not supposed to win a round on the CT side with the USP. Ooh, just the one tap.
Oh my god.
The one tap. Nodius with that Krieg, man. That was the save.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what we were talking about. Like, if it is in position to do some damage to some teammates that can play off of it, magic can happen. Magic certainly did happen. Refresh going very aggressively towards the silo there, outside. Looking to see if he can catch anyone crossing. Will they check for this? They've already got a player past this position, so I doubt they're going to check this. This could be huge. He goes for the first. Oh, dear James.
No.
Oh, no. That's a huge blunder.
Oh, no.
That is not what you wanted.
No, not after you've just clawed your way back into the game.
Oh, wow.
I love the Krieg spray. It's amazing.
He could also have, I was going to say, because, you know, will he even wait for one more to pass?
Oh, he's being teased. He's being teased. He's scared. How deep can I go without exposing myself to a different angle? He doesn't know Farley's still there. Farley could have swung around the other side. He's looking for that as well, but he gets there in the end. His patience is rewarded. 3 CPH Flames players remaining, and you can see the risk is increased as they've got to find a way to get back into this game. But it goes from bad to worse. Tessa's taken out, leaving Nodius and Hooksy. Oh no, Nodius has got a bomb in his crosshairs now, in his scope. That changes absolutely everything.
Okay. We need to they need to keep the Krieg out of his hands. He's just a demon, an absolute demon with that Krieg. And c0ntact have a little bit of time to try to find a way back into this. But Nodius knows. See Hooksy now with the 1v3. The bomb can be collected. Time is of the essence. Nice catch onto Ramen. Very weak in play. Even gets the headshot. Hooksy can just defend this. He picks up the AK that was dropped. Oh, that is such a great way to take an engagement. Jiggles forces out a couple bullets, goes for the re-peek. Oh, able to escape their ships. Has got passage now to a bomb site. Does he have time, though? He has to go all the way around, and Hooksy catches him in the open. What a beautiful 3K from Hooksy.
2 rounds in a row that Copenhagen Flames had no right to win. The USPs, and then that one play. Look how close he was to escaping there. He makes his way down towards Secret with the bomb, and that round is probably going the way of c0ntact, I think, in most of the time. But that bomb being completely exposed, just falling away from the stairs as well. There's no sneaky way to recover it.
I'm actually surprised we don't see like necessarily like a force buy or something here from c0ntact, because their money's really in a weird place, and obviously they'll be able to buy next round, but CPH Flames don't have any money either. So CPH Flames looking to survive this round with all 5 players to grow their economy. A very realistic and very damaging thing for well, I should say the best case for c0ntact is to get, I would say, like 3 kills in this round. That would be huge. If they can do that with what they have, that would bode very well for them. So we'll see if they can do that. If they get the bomb down as well, that's another winning condition, I think, in a situation like this. And look at how much space has been given up by CPH Flames, so they really don't want to take anything for chance. Ooh.
Ooh.
Looked like Follig was going to... Yeah, I was going to say.
Ooh.
Looking for the trade. It's not looking like it's going to be happening anytime soon. Follig's holding this down pretty effectively. The pace has kind of just come to a halt here for c0ntact as well. As I say that, though, Rollin will pick off Nodius. But Nodius has been causing problems, man. He's really been the basis of all these weird round victories for CPH Flames. But now Rollin's stolen away a gun, much as Nodius is like to do.
And like Rollin, the hero of the hour, having a good game. 18 for 9 at present. Again, a stand-in for c0ntact, but he has plenty of recent experience with Copenhagen Flames among 2 different Polish teams. Otto takes a fresh shot around the back, but before he can get the M4 ready, he will be revenge fragged. 15 seconds now. This bomb needs to get planted. It's going down on the B bomb site. c0ntact makes his way down towards the lower area as well. Unorthodox plant position. Ships trying to run distraction with the Deagle. Rollin, oh, they're lining up for him. He's got his bell rung though. Surely he goes down soon, taking out c0ntact. There's a trade from Hooksy. The numbers advantage works for a time. Ships though gets the trade and he hears Farlig on the way. Surely this is guaranteed. Farlig's got no choice. He's got a kit, but he's got to run for it. The Deagle shot, penetration kill. And another clutch from CPH Flames, doing it the hard way, but they're doing it round after round.
1 HP. Oh my god, Ships almost got there. And I was saying about the win conditions for that round, like if you come away from the round, having lost it, like what would still feel like a success given what they had. I was like, oh, 3 kills, maybe a bomb plant. They almost win the round, James. They get the bomb plant and 4 kills. That is actually so huge. It creates, now we're in this huge swing round position. Both teams have spent all of their money. c0ntact have the freedom to basically purchase whatever the hell they want thanks to the bomb plant. And so we're going to see one of the most important buy versus buy rounds now for this map. Oh, great pick from Farlig. That's a good way to start it.
Yeah,
CPH Flames.
He just got there quicker. I'm a big believer in Otto, but just couldn't get there fast enough. So, and only 5 versus 4 for Copenhagen Flames as the score is finally tied, 11-11, 11 apiece. Maybe some discussion as to what they will do now. c0ntact. Bomb has not been seen by the Flames just yet. Collected outside. Actually, no, it's just in position 4 now, but there's plenty of time, so this is not a big deal. What do they choose to do? The wall of smokes will be deployed outside, but will anybody be behind it? Will it be one person? You can see Esperanto is pretty deep on the outside. He will make a contribution as well. But in fact, it seems it might be Zero. Refresh is deep in garage, keeping an eye on Mini. So at least they know that is secure. But what of the A-bomb side? Oh boy, Emmy, I don't know how you saw that first. Hootsy's here as well with the FAMAS, the transfer, looking for a third, can't get it.
He may have done enough though. This is looking pretty grim now for the remainder of c0ntact. Farlig now creeping from behind the bomb silos, looking to get some damage in. Oh, the flick's not enough though. Ships will take him down, and it's a 2v2 all of a sudden. c0ntact may have the advantage finally. Refresh tries to work his way in from Mini. Ships repositions, he gets caught by Refresh. There was a timing there, now it's up to Esperanto. Makes it a 1v1, goes for the swing, and it's Nodius again. Nodius, he's 17 for 17, James, but how many impactful frags has this guy had? I feel like every single one of them has been incredibly impactful.
Yes, impact frags, definitely the order of the day for Nodius so far. The M4A4, does he find himself another Krieg? If he goes towards the left, he would, but he picks up the AWP instead.
Wow. Look at how many rounds where only one player survived for the C-Days.
Yeah, I mean, again, the clutches have been off the charts, man. Copenhagen Flames have won a lot of testing rounds on their CT side. And again, there are so many situations which could have spelled short-term disaster at least, because there are definitely rounds to fight for to come. I mean, look at the top of the... Oh, you can't see, yeah, but on our HUD, we can see the bombs being planted almost every... Maybe it was every round. Actually, no. The CT's won 1 round by elimination. Every other round in this half so far, the bomb has been planted. We've had 5 defuses by Copenhagen Flames, 2 detonations, and that 1 round that was a CT elimination win. So c0ntact are getting a lot of success in these rounds, but Copenhagen Flames are clutching it time after time after time.
It's so crazy. It's so funny as well because in many respects, in the first half, it was more about c0ntact just being off to a bad start because c0ntact Flames were playing well strategically, but then c0ntact Flames were unable to clutch. But now it's just kind of the script has been flipped. There we go. Farlig holding that AWP angle towards the trophy room. Is looking to see if he can find anybody early on, and of course we can see that c0ntact have a few players around lobby. Not looking to commit towards that position just yet. Esperanto, meanwhile, perhaps looking for that split from the outside, and the trade works out, and there it is. The backstab from Esperanto. The timing couldn't be better as the trades come through. It's a 2v2 all of a sudden, as it's once again Nodius from up high that could cause problems.
Farlig and Nodius to try and clutch the round, but Esperanto has made his way towards the B bomb site. The door's been opened, and Otto's got cover in A, and the vent, of course. Farlig and Co making their way down the ramp very quickly indeed. Farlig, though, doesn't have the angle to take out Esperanto before he goes to decon. There's a smoke up on the site as well, so there's plenty of questions to be answered by Copenhagen Flames before they can try and defuse. Only Nodius has a kit. Esperanto trying to dance around a smoke. Great one tap from him. Trying to reposition. Manages to escape as well and close the door. Now Nodius has a smoke and he has a defuse kit. But where is the second player? Having a quick look. He might be able to defuse with some cover. Actually, no, he won't. Esperanto forced through. No fear whatsoever. He's got a teammate for backup. See, Neil's really happy with that. 12 to 12. I feel like in the current climate, he should get a prosthetic arm for them to both fist.
Dude, Esperanto,
in his hands.
That was a big dick play, James. That was
a BDP.
That was a huge BDP from Esperanto there. Like, it was a 2v2. You got the bomb down. By by pretty much all standards, you have already got a pretty decent advantage in that position. But he turned it into a decent advantage, into a significant one. Just playing on the fact that that smoke is down, that they saw him hurriedly get to decon, that you wouldn't really expect him to ever come out again. And he just found that timing and an off angle and got the kill. And that just, at that point, it's just almost impossible to recover. So just a huge play from Esperanto to really seal the deal. I think that's one of those plays, James, where it's like, going for that's really risky. If you're feeling it at the moment, if you have a timing, do it. But let's leave that to the experienced players. Look at the difference it's made too. This is a rough situation for the Danes. I feel like, it just keeps turning every single round now.
Yeah, they've been so many rounds have been so difficult. But the question I think for Copenhagen Flames is, can they clutch the more important rounds later on when we're closer to that 16th round? For now, it's 12 to 12. Emmy's the information man here. He's got the MAC-10. Sweeze is creeping, looking for those headshots, of which he can find many, because nobody has a helmet for Copenhagen Flames. He's the expendable man, carrying the bomb for the time being, but he's a guy who can go to the point of no return just for the sake of information. If he drops the MAC-10, not the worst thing in the world. Everybody has a helmet, of course, on the T side. c0ntact Flames being proactive as well. And he's indeed dropped the bomb to his teammate, and not the floor, to give a sound cue away. And again, he's the one who has to take the risk. He's the one who's got to be sent out there to scavenge for food.
I love this anti-eco/anti-force buy opening as well. It can be difficult sometimes, but getting players in heaven, I think it just so often seals the deal. It's such a strong vantage point, and once you have that, you can see like Refresh in a horrible position if they decide to go out there, especially with a flashbang or something like that, and you can see the upper split set up. They're just waiting the smoke out, and then they can get the push started towards that upper side. And we're just waiting so that he's on the push before his teammates can just burst out of mini in case the worst happens. And here's one flash. No, all right. He's going to fall back a little bit. They're changing up their decision here. Interesting. They feel like there's going to be an upper stack right now. And they want to just control the vent position. And that position, but they got 15 seconds, James. This is a very crazy call to make.
Oh, this is wild, and the CTs are creeping. The Deagle runs out of bullets, though, and that might be the difference maker. But even if they plant a bomb, I think someone's by decon. Is there any position that's safe? I'm not sure that there is. They're sprayed towards the bomb planter. He's just about going to get there, though, but it's absolute carnage. Refresh coming in from the back with the Krieg, of course. And Copenhagen Flames have once again clutched another round you thought they were guaranteed to lose. How do they keep doing it?
Well, I don't know how much of the credit goes to c0ntact Flames there, or maybe most of it should go to c0ntact. for giving it up to them. That was a crazy situation. They had an upper split ready to go, and they just didn't feel confident enough once the CTs were, had those smokes down to just use the positions that were strong that they had to try to break it. I think partially it's one of those situations where they feel like we don't have enough information, and so they kind of chickened out of just committing anyway, which can often just be better. You know, it's a devil you know versus a devil you don't. You're set up for this push. You know you can all come in at once. If you try to abort now, the time is also going to hurt you badly. So it's a hard situation. That's one of the spots where experience really counts for a team. Nodius, look at this guy go. He's ready for the spray down. And it's actually Otto to get a team kill onto Emmy. And Farlig's ready on the other side of things. 2
more players around the ramp. Farlig forced back, though, from the deeper angles on the ramp itself by the flashbang. But again, the stragglers for c0ntact. Otto with all her 6 HP. Rollin carrying the bomb as well. And there goes Otto. Now, Rollin has time on his side, but all the choke points are going to give a sound cue away at this point on the B bomb site. No element of surprise there to take Tesses out. And Copenhagen Flames make it to 14. This is the pick of Copenhagen Flames. And they are pretty close to winning it. Again, the bomb's still being planted almost every round. But there's one by elimination.
Dude, at round 26, that's the round for me, which if c0ntact end up losing this game, they got to go back and look at that, because that should not happen. And look at what it's done. They've been ravaged by
the bomb's through the floor. The bomb's gone through the floor. Dear. The bomb's gone through the floor.
Is that a new bug? I haven't seen that for like
no, it's
years. I feel like.
I don't know the proper programming terms, but I want to say it's something to do with displacements. Those 3-click flips videos. Basically, I think it's where X joins Y. There can be gaps. This happened to me with a health shot in Danger Zone. It still happens. You can fix some, but I think just the nature of the game, the way things are built, even if like it's just a straight floor there, I guess something can still go. You know, there's like an invisible crack. I think is the easiest way to explain it.
Volvo, please.
Yeah.
Please fix. That's so weird. I remember there was a game where on Inferno, I forget which teams it was now. Maybe it'll come back to me. But the bomb just didn't spawn, but no one realized for some reason. And
there was no bomb. Yeah.
Yeah, just like there wasn't a bomb, and so they got to the end of the round, and it was like, actually, we have the bomb site, but where is the bomb?
There's always a situation in a tournament where you enter something happens which is unprecedented.
Yeah.
So what do we got to figure out on the fly how to fix it? Anyway, Otto with a big headshot into Mini. The pistols are working out. c0ntact can still turn this around. And there isn't really the money for Copenhagen Flames to deal with this. They have to win this round. Huxi's doing his best to do that, though. But Esperanto is still creeping. They've got a number of advantages as well, c0ntact. And now Nodius, of course, with the Krieg, of course, in a 1 versus 3.
Yeah, you can't put it past him given what he's shown us already as he makes his way through to try to start this clutch. They said, oh, never mind, there's no start to be had. It's going to be a full start. Rollin puts one between his eyes, and that's a great response from c0ntact. And this game, James, you just don't know what to do about it, do you? It's just so weird. I was ready to like shut the book after c0ntact threw away that really favorable position. But now they're back in a similar spot, actually. CPH Flames, their money's kind of weird because they could do a force buy here. 3 players can full buy, more or less. But there's 2 players with $2,700 and below. So do they save one and just let c0ntact get to 14? Or do they try like dropping a few pistols, maybe get some Kevlar, maybe do some kind of funky strat?
Yeah, this is, well... I mean, if they do 1 eco, they'll be all right.
But then c0ntact gets 14. Like they have some money where they could get some damage in. Maybe they could.
You need the money to defend properly in a full buy. I think has to be the priority. Although Refresher's bought a fair bit here.
Yeah,
he spent $1,650. So we'll see if that pays off. I mean, we've seen some. He's won rounds with less. We've got that USP double kill on the A bomb side, so let us make no assumptions. Maybe that fills players with confidence, and you want them to play with confidence. His money is together with his teammates who have more.
I'm just afraid for Contact right now because these rounds seemingly are too difficult. Oh no, no, is it happening again? There's the 1-for-1 trade, so it looks like Contact will at least trade and get position. But now CPH Flames are starting to react. But Contact, they're not getting too crazy here. They're just relaxing a little bit, seeing if they can find a push from the enemies. If CPH Flames were to try to commit heavily, they could catch them on rotation.
Well, they relax too much though, because maybe they'll have to make a last-second decision. They don't have enough time to process. 50 seconds on the clock. And they start to speed up now, taking control of Controller. Contact. We've got some smoke grenades being bounced into the choke point. Molly's on the other side, ships with some bursting and some spraying. And this seems a lot calmer than the rounds prior. Oh no, Hooksy though, he's picked up the Krieg. Hooksy versus 3 now. Looks like he'll choose to save it.
He saved the one Krieg. We know that one Krieg is all it takes, James. We've seen it multiple times now. Give it to Nodius, or you just don't know what's up.
In the online qualifier stage for the finals of the Pinnacle Open leading into Flashpoint 1, there was a Brazilian team who on Nuke used Desert Eagle lineup on the A bomb site to blast somebody in the head who was planting behind the little silo on B, which I'm really hoping to see now. Now we're into the high level games. I want to see that happen in one of these games. Maybe we'll get there. Maybe not in this one though. Probably just a few rounds left, but who knows? Maybe overtime is on the cards here. Another bomb plant. This time it is successful for Contact, their third detonation of the game. Destination round win at least. And the score is tied, 14 apiece. Farlick had 4,400 last round, so he kept enough money for the AWP. You always want your snipers doing that, not really buying much on these eco rounds. You definitely don't want them to be buying the Desert Eagle and Kevlar. So, 14 apiece, AWP on both sides. Tessa's a little short on grenades, only the smoke grenade for him. Also, it's going to get that fast boost, looking towards Secret for the time being. And we got Refresh creeping on the outside. Seems to be focused on anyone on top of Mini. We can see there's big intentions here from Contact. Some short-range grenades to be thrown.
Okay, just working that outside control slowly but surely. The Contact logo really reminds me of Bomberman, I've got to say. Don't know if you ever played that game, James. Pretty old school.
Of course.
Yeah. Classic gameplay. Well, some classic gameplay here on Nuke for Contact's T side. We get the outside smokes coming through as well. And at this point, CPH Flames, it's kind of up to them to figure out, okay, how do we deal with this? Like, we got to figure out if we need to rotate some more players. They already have Farlick downstairs. Tessus, oh, he's found himself a timing squeaky. He's not going to get punished. That's a freebie. Beautiful timing for Tessus. 40 seconds, Contact. They've got to start making a move, James. They don't really have any positioning. They're just now pushing ramps. This is all they have, and they've got to make it count.
Charging towards the B-bomb site, hunting, chasing. Nodius trying to buy as much time as possible, but eventually he'll have to frag. Farlick now reveals his position by Decon. That's going to slow things down. Thought Contact might have thought of a plan B, but no, they're going to press on. They've got the numbers now and the high ground advantage. Bomb on the floor to be picked up. 14 seconds to be planted. Got to pick the right spot. That's a huge frag. Refresh getting taken out. Contact heading towards game point here. Farlick and Hooksy got to commit everything to this, surely. But there's no money left if they do.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, it's all going wrong right at the end there. Really heads-up play from Esperanto to actually check for the kill behind the doors there, because he had the bomb and there was about 10 seconds left when he went for that. And given as it was, I believe, a 3v3 at that point, and there's so much time pressure, you could definitely expect Esperanto to very reasonably just go for the plant and just hope that no one was behind the door waiting for a plant to deny it, and that his teammate can make it, maybe cover him or trade for him. But he seemed to have a great degree of awareness there that he had to be the one to make the move to do that. So good on Esperanto for having the game sense. So that really made a good bit of difference. 15-14 now for Contact as they are looking at that dub on the first map. This is the pick of CPH Flames. This has been a very odd game of Nuke, I have to say.
All right then, let's see what Copenhagen Flames have got left in them. This is a pretty reasonable offering they've got in their last round, as dire as things look towards the end there. Esperanto now creeping around the smoke once again. Early smokes up towards Secret. Footsteps definitely being heard this time. We've got Tessus making his way downstairs. Hooksy keeping an eye on things in case there's a flanker creep through the smoke on Squeaky Door. Only Tessus downstairs for the time being. Copenhagen Flames being careful about their entries, their engagements, their choke points. So very devoid of information beyond those sound cues and these grenades. That'll take eyes away. So again, Copenhagen Flames don't know if this is one person offering a fake or if there are 3 or 4 people behind that.
Yeah, you're right. And c0ntact are really ready to punish any info plays outside. They had also ready with the orb. They had 2 players to support Otto as well. So really strong setups here that are they're made to punish information plays, but that is not what they're doing. They're actually going to lose their players on extremities. Now it's the 3 players, this one little squad having to push their way down lower, and now this small little squad is getting even smaller as it's just up to Roland and Emmy to save the round. They've got time to do it, but it's just Roland now, 1 versus 3. He might just be able to have enough time to plant the bomb, but there's so much more to be done.
Putting a grenade out, he's surely going to get shot from the ramp here. He doesn't really have any cover. There's so much risk. Hooksy's just baiting him, showing presence to make him focus on Hooksy while the others continue to advance. Rylan, how much cover does he have? Surely it's a synchronized peek. There's Hooksy looking for the trade fragger, and there's Refresh, you can't do anything. And we will head to overtime. So those first 2 kills, the timing was absolutely crazy because the way Ships went down, he was the 2nd person to die. I feel like he had to be looking at the radar to see what was happening across the map elsewhere. And he got taken out at the same time. The cards all came falling after that.
Oh, for sure. It was kind of nuts because, again, like as I mentioned, you know, we had this very typical play where c0ntact, they really are dictating the pace of the round. They take some control. They threaten the lower bomb site. They push one player down there. They create a spot where CPH don't know how many players are down there, just as you had said. And so then that we had the setups. This portion of the round was c0ntact are looking for the info plays. And then the info plays happen in 2 spots. And in both those spots, it's c0ntact who lose players, which is kind of crazy. So you can see the pinnacles here. Everything's really lining up very close together. No one knows which way this one's going to go. Also unable to find the value he wants towards ramp. They may just go for an upper push here.
Farlig in a very battle snipery position. All the dry peaks in the world, but Emmy delivers with the AK-47. Hooksy with some fadeaway grenades, but what can they do to contain c0ntact in this position? That certainly helps. Refresh with the headshot. Esperanto's here to trade, though, swinging around Mini. Minute 10 on the clock, 3v3. The bomb's been dropped again. Farlig doing big damage with a P250. Esperanto doing what he can. HE's behind the default plant spot. Doesn't see the advance, though. Nodius from up top with the M4A4, leaving Otto in a 1 versus 3. Farlig and Nodius remain. He's got the molly to try and cut the numbers out, but can he surely be ready for this? So fast is he? Nodius now up top. Gone down to hell, rotating. Plenty of time for Otto.
Yeah, this is clutch mode now for Otto. Looking to complete the clutch here. He's read this so well. He's read this so well. Otto nails it. He is just in their heads, and that is a beautiful completion to the clutch. Oh my god. The fact that he was able to reset the situation in that 1v3, the bombs dropped in enemy territory essentially, and he still finds a way. This is a good trade from Esperanto here as well. That's what he's there to do. But Otto, these 3 kills, so sick. This is a beautiful one.
This is why he is the man.
Yeah.
He is the man on c0ntact. Otto is the star player in my opinion. 16 to 15 now. c0ntact in the lead. Esperanto moving quickly on the outside once again. Takes a flashbang as he charges past Secret. Otto's the one to get taken out by Farlig actually.
No,
that's a huge frag.
There's no smokes there, James. That's a huge. You're asking for trouble. You're leaving yourself open to not only giving the info up that someone's lower, but that if they have an AWP posted up, you're going to lose a player. Is it worth it? That's ultimately the question. They did get Esperanto down there, so maybe it will be worth it. We know Esperanto he's been very dangerous, consistently the most dangerous player on c0ntact on Nuke so far. That rifle. Rolling up onto the silo now, that will be heard. I believe there is a CT close enough in Mini. threatening upper. They may try to go for the vent drop here, I want. This could be quite interesting. Oh, love the smoke.
Well, that's going to compromise the position, make things nervous over by the ramp ships. Misses the molly, but he did get the kill on Nodius, which is more important. Esperanto now in the vent, cutting off that rotation. Refresh now, scarpering. Such a desperate time now for Copenhagen Flames. Where is the bomb going? Well, I think they know now. It's on the B bomb site. Refresh doing what he can. Opens up the vents for his teammates and a rotation can begin.
And nice, what a nice setup here from c0ntact. Looking to finish things off though in the 3v3. It's not given. That position's always wallbanged at this point, so no one ever stands there anymore. Mixi has control, but they've got to take control of this round, and that's a good way to start things off. But Emmy's got something to say about that as well, as he eventually goes down up to Rollin again here with the Krieg, and this, oh, it's a free one there for him as Hooksy drops into the line of fire, and Farlig suffers the same fate as his comrade. 17 to 15, c0ntact looking great in overtime so far.
This really, well, it felt really, really swingy, at least in normal time. Wasn't sure who's going to take it, but c0ntact are having a very strong time of things now on their T side. If they can take 3 from 3, surely they would be unstoppable. Big clutch from Ralen. One more to go. AWP's out again for both squads. Nothing untowards happening here. There's enough money for both teams. Otto heading towards the ramp. Gets to the angle faster, but takes the shot a bit late through the smoke. Refresh traded immediately by Emmy. 4 versus 4. Plenty of time for c0ntact.
And now there's a big wall of smokes outside as well, so CPH Flames, they do have Farlig outside, but it's going to be hard to know what exactly is happening over there. And c0ntact playing, you're in a 4v4 now. This is a really ideal spot to be on the T side. So many openings now will appear on the map for them to potentially sneak through. You can see there's a 2-man setup here on ramp room. That will obviously leave the setups lighter elsewhere on the map for the CTs. Got 2 players on upper as well. And this tends to be the case, usually, that the CTs will leave outside completely open in scenarios like this. Lots of noise there for the CTs to hear that Otto's making.
Yeah, on the roof. Once again, forcing Copenhagen Flames from certain positions, maybe making them worry about the A bomb site as they push elsewhere, but they don't really get the kills on the ramp. Ralen will think better of it. He was exposed with the bomb as the only person after chips went down, but maybe Emmy's frag will change things on the A bomb site. Gets his bell rung through the door, which will save a lot of HP, but Otto's there to finish him off.
And Farlig is out of position. Oh, can you think of a more hopeless clutch to try to have to make than coming out the vent with an AWP with 18 points of health? Oh, okay, just as I say that, Farlig is giving it a go. USP! Oh, no! And all of a sudden, it's a 1v1 just like that. Farlig's reset it. Will he do what Osso did to them just 2 rounds ago as he looks to try to find the last player? Ralen is going to nail it, though, as he outdoes Farlig, and that's a sweep, a clean 3-round unanswered sweep from c0ntact in overtime 1.
Yeah, that is massive. Stand-in Ralen to clutch 2 of those overtime rounds at the very least as well. And CPH Flames, Copenhagen Flames, are in a hell of a lot of trouble now. They've got to win 3 rounds in a row on their T side. On Nuke, this is not going to be easy. By no means is it over, but it could quickly be if they make just 1 mistake too many. They've got to have a perfect run. And this is not going to be a good way for either of these teams coming off a loss here on Nuke to go into the second map, because they'll both feel like they had it in their hands. But right now it's firmly in the hands of c0ntact. Mirage being their pick, which is to come. But first, a conclusion on Nuke.
There we go, Roland investigating outside as he loses the duel to refresh. Some information has been spotted here. Otto looking for opportunity, but opportunity has been taken away by the use of that utility. As you can see, oh, there is actually a tiny little gap on the far left, but Otto is not going to hang out there for too much longer. He spots one upper, drop down, and Hooksy will nail it, taking Otto out, and that's a 5v3 now. So this is a good way to start what, as you mentioned, James, is a very difficult kind of comeback just to force another overtime.
I love Hooksy's glass breaking immediately after his kill, because it just raises the threat level for c0ntact around the hell position. It could go via door, it could go via the glass, it could go on the outside in a number of different ways as well. That said, Ship still gets the kill, but Huxi is up top. Emmy's looking for that, but then that compromises elsewhere. They've only got 3 players left, so that little thing could pay off later on. Huxi now, as you can see, hasn't cleared anything in the A bomb site. Not sure if people are up on the rafters or down below. 30 seconds left. Farlick's been patient, and his patience has been paid off.
Yeah, just Esperanto and Emmy left now, so it'll be very difficult. And there's only so much they can do. Great trading coming in from CPH Flames, finishing things off, but again, they got to do it 2 times. And if they don't, they fail on either one of these next 2 hurdles. Well, that's map 1 collected happily by c0ntact, I'm sure.
Yeah, so far so good. Baby steps, 1 at a time. Attempt number 2 for Copenhagen Flames. Got to get on that motorbike and go through the fiery hoop without breaking all the bones in your body on the landing. Again, AWP to both sides. This time a fast play through Squeaky, but Nodius is going to get taken out by the likes of Otto. Up by Heaven, not sure if he saw him or not. Either way, he's dead.
Ouch. That's not how you want to start off a round like this, in a situation like this. c0ntact, they've got that information that there's at least going to be 1 T behind those smokes. They've rotated somebody, so that's going to help. You can see Otto is now even getting into position. Ships is already there with the AWP. This is going to be very hard to break for CPH Flames, but they're going to try, and maybe it's them who's going to get broken. Ships and Otto just completely shutting that one down, and maybe they're going to shut the map down. Indeed they will. Emmy will get the final kill. That's 19-16 c0ntact. Very, very good in the overtime, James. It was a bit crazy for a while there, but they get it in the end.
Massive pop-offs from c0ntact. Neil very, very happy with that. A very back and forth affair, difficult affair, and again they've won the big map with a stand-in as well, so c0ntact have put themselves in a great position. Straight to the sanitization station after those bro fists for them, they've been told multiple times. But anyway, that is the first map going the way of c0ntact. There's plenty more CS to come. Mirage will be the second map of this series, and that's coming up after the break.